There is no way you don't hear me now. You guys let me know if you can hear me good and see me good. I had to go in and reboot a bunch of the settings. They're actually ripping out, I don't know what's going on, but they're ripping out a whole bunch of the actual power lines and boxes and transformers and everything. And so they keep shutting down the power grid on the whole, area. And I noticed every time they do it, it's resetting my computer and stuff. They don't let us know, so sometimes I'm working. But you guys let me know if you can hear me good and see me good. I cranked up all of it, so I might have to tweak some of the microphone. I might be too loud. You let me know. Yeah, something weird happened last week that's never happened before in how many years of streaming on a computer. I know the internet, went down a couple times in mid when I was working. But what happened was when you go into the internal settings, the microphone volume was all the way down to the max as far as like the microphone input volume. I've never had to tweak with that. And I barely mess with it. So on stream, that was the one thing that it totally slipped my mind. But I think we're back now. I'm going to put the link. Actually, I need to pop out the chat real quick. I'm going to put the link to the straw poll in the comment box. Go ahead and click on that straw poll. Vote on this episode. I'm going to jump in with the 3 things that, explanation real quick. No, we're just going to get into it. The 3 things, I'm going to knock out the positives right from the gate because the most of you lingering now, primarily I would say 60 to 80% of you guys enjoy most of what The Walking Dead gives us. And a lot of people, a lot of people come and I'm assuming, well, let's just get into it. This season's just not fire for me. It's just not hitting on all cylinders. It's this weird mix where it's not bad. I don't think it's bad. I don't think it's shit. I don't think it's terrible. The soundtrack is good. Usually it looks great. The acting's on point. You don't have like these terrible moments, but for what the show is, it's just the shell of his former self, And I keep bringing up some main points. I think every week I talk about budget, you guys know, and that's the biggest thing strangling the life out of the show. I know some people get sick of hearing it, but I don't know what else to do except for not mention, the biggest problem ruining the show is the budget. I mean, maybe we can stop talking about it, but I don't know. Anyway, the 3 positives and I'm talking about episode 3 only. Yes, I did watch episode 4, and that one was even worse in my opinion. I'm not even looking forward. I might skip next week. I don't even want to look at you guys in the face when we talk about next week. Episode 3 had tension, regardless of how I feel about it's a little silly with throwing knives going all around the corner. And now that we know they're mercs, it's confirmed kind of next week. But we knew that from the bonus episodes where we had that one solo sniper merc. It just feels really odd. It's like, they're super scary and tough mercs. So God forbid they have any guns, even though... not that I am aware of. Let me think. I don't know any real mercs in real life. I know people who are survivalists, and they damn sure know a thing or two about making bullets. So I just can't see some of these mercs making bullets like Eugene. But long story short, so they're too vicious with guns, so let's give them throwing stars. All right, that's next week's criticism. But this week, forget about who they are as villains. I like the fact that it felt like it was scary and there was tension and there was danger. Yes, is it stupid they killed off the new characters right away? Yeah, it's dumb. It's like Maggie shows up with new people because she can't show up alone. But they don't want to keep the new people because, it's the final season. We already have a bloated cast. Kill them, it's kind of like, oh, okay. So they're gone. Now, the other good thing, so the tension, forget all the details. Just the tension alone in this episode was real fun. I liked it. Felt on point. The other thing that surprised me was the kids. They have two separate moments, I think, two or three, where the legacy characters, and that's the son of Glenn and Maggie, the daughter of Shane, Rick, and Lori Michonne, stepdaughter Michonne, but you get what I'm saying. They're legacy characters. You have the children of the leads of the iconic and legendary characters. Those are the ones I call legacy for those who don't know. These are the ones that we already have an invested interest in. Even Herschel, Glenn's son, that shows up, we right away have an invested interest, even though he's only been on screen for a little bit. He's been different actors, a baby and another actor, and then now the actor playing him here. So we have this interest in him, but it's a dynamic that is a refreshing look, and sometimes they write the kid characters and it feels like they just squeeze them in there to have them jump up and say, oh, look, they're here, so they have to be on screen. But they do kind of like, mock the parents a bit about having to always go out and do runs and this, that, and the third, and eating weird food because they had to eat a horse. I believe this was the episode, right? So I thought, I don't know, there was something really interesting about that, and I think they could do something strong with that. Now, keep in mind, the character is a little younger, but the actor playing Judith is around the same age that a real Ellie from The Last of Us would be. I think the actor is like 14-ish, something like that. So that would be the age. If you look at that actor, that would be the age of that character based on that type of storyline. And to give you an example of how many fans were invested in that initial Last of Us game that came out because of that story, you can do something similar. So it makes sense how they could utilize this type of character. It would probably have to be a more intimate and a smaller cast, though, instead of having something so bloated, and a more dynamic storyline. So peeking in on the kids, as long as it's done well, is interesting. It either flops or it's interesting. And then the way they filmed it, some of the sound was good. The soundtrack is good, but the way they filmed it with a fisheye, I'm not showing any footage yet because I'm going to play it now and cover some of the negatives. But the way they filmed it with a wide angle lens, and there's a one shot where it's like a 2-second shot where you get some dirty, busted old cars on the side of the street, and they're walking down the street, and then they dive off into some woods. It's nice. It's got that post-apocalyptic vibe, and that's what helps the world building, the immersion. It's what helps you feel like you can smell the air when the characters are there. I don't know how to explain it other than immersion, but it draws you in. And immersion's even kind of a tricky word because it's not like you're right there with them, hiding from zombies and shit. But it just has a immersive feeling about it to where you're in this ride and what's going on with the characters. Outside of that, I wasn't really wholly impressed with the episode. I think it really dawned on me, especially after watching 4. The Walking Dead, for my personal tastes, it's done. It's probably just going to be an okay finale, and that is it. The best I can hope for is pretty much okay. It's just not like let's kick it off. Let's do these super chats, though. Aaron P. with a $2 one. I miss you. That's my fault. How's life? Life is life, I think, for everyone right now. Sometimes it's cool. Sometimes it sucks. You take it when you can get it, how you can get it. You know what I mean? I appreciate the donation, though. The YOLO Donkey coming in with a $5 dono. The entire B story was set up for Magna to tell Carol to stop giving false hope. The B story tonight was trash with beautiful scenery. Yeah, the B story about hunting the deer, get rid of all that bullshit. Now, what's funny? When you watch the recap of episode 3, this episode for next week, you know what they cut out? All the shit that's filler. They leave to go looking for food and they run right in. They cut out like all the sewer stuff. None of the, you know what I mean? It's all filler, just shit. I mean, it's cool getting that environment and atmosphere and yada, yada, yada. But at the end of the day, it is just filler. And it makes you wonder. It's like, well, what? There had to have been something. There had to have been some other ideas where I don't know, man. Imagine you sit down, you're doing the final season, and it's like, let's spend 2 episodes just dicking around in a subway. I don't know why, I don't know. It's the final season. It just doesn't, I don't know. And then AP with another $2 dono. What will the channel become once the main show is over? Well, we're doing Flaw and All only. As a matter of fact, I was trying to pull up the scene from Friday Part 4. I'm just a tad bit behind because they keep shutting the power out. I was supposed to have it up this Friday. It's going to post tomorrow, but it was an edit I did that was real funny. It has a little clip of the Predator laughing at Jason, but I thought it was funny. I was going to play the little clip here, but it won't let me utilize 2 programs using a microphone, and I wasn't in the mood to try to figure out how to shut that off. So you guys can watch it tomorrow. It's going to be posted on the channel, but we are doing only Flaw and All reviews for right now. I mean, until we get going and we're pumping them out. But yeah, The Walking Dead is no longer the main focus. I think that's pretty clear. I would hope that's pretty clear right at this point. If you're only here for The Walking Dead, you could still hang around for when we cover it. We're still covering the full main season 11. I'm not watching World Beyond. I will not review World Beyond. It's no hard feelings. It's just that show's not made for my personal tastes. Even as a zombie fan, I feel like it's just not made for the majority of zombie fans' personal tastes. I'm not going to cover Fear. I just think they dick us around with Fear. Same thing with World Beyond. They show Jadis, and it doesn't matter. It's just the full fans and the fans who, I'm sorry, it's the full fans who are naive and thinking that it's going to have some deep connections with Rick. You're nuts. You're absolutely off your rocker. No one knows who Rick is in World Beyond. Let's just think logic. Forget about forcing Rick into World Beyond. Let's just use a little bit of logic here and some brain power. Nobody in World Beyond knows who Rick is. So when World Beyond characters run into Jadis, Jadis has no reason at all to talk about Rick, no reason to mention him, to bring him up. He's not going to cameo. I saw so many comments where people were like, oh my God, Rick's making his comeback in World Beyond. And it's like, why would Andrew Lincoln, who lives in the UK, come to the US to shoot a shitty little cameo in the lowest rating spin-off of The Walking Dead? That's going to be his epic return in World Beyond for a 30-second scene, even if he was in a whole episode. I mean, it's like he's going to come back for that show, not the finale of the final season, not this, not that, he won't even do his own movies yet, but he's going to come back for World Beyond. But again, my main argument is no one knows who Rick is. So there's no reason to talk about Rick except for maybe 1 or 2 comments where Jadis explains how she got there or some shit where I brought a leader here, a strong guy. I guarantee that's all you get, And they've been dicking us around for seasons. When will the fan base get it? I just don't understand. They're playing you. They're showing you, hey, when you're done with this, we're going to give you $1,000. And you're like, oh, shit. And you start clicking away. You ever get those ads? And you get to the end of it, and it's like, yeah, well, sign up, and we're gonna draw a winner. Somebody will get $1,000, but just give me your email address, your phone number, social security number, blah, blah, blah. Anyhow, we did get some donos coming in with Phantom Knight with a $5. I find it annoying. We leave episode 3 with Negan and Maggie. We won't pick up with them again until episode 6 and episode 4 being so predictable. Yeah, that's another thing that really comes down hard on The Walking Dead for the enjoyability factor. You'll leave off on an episode with certain characters. You'll be excited to pick up with that cliffhanger or with that storyline, and they'll just cover other people. And then you get to them whenever. The YOLO Donkey with a $10 dono. You think killing the minor characters and separating the more major, just to get Negan and Maggie together on the mission was the best way to get these characters alone together. By the way, dude, you rock. Well, thank you very much for the nice comments. No, I don't think it was the best way to do that. I mean, if they wanted to separate them, I'm sorry, but, and it might be a minor spoiler, but Daryl and Dog get separated in episode 4. Dog falls down a hill. Does Daryl go after him? No. Does Daryl? Nope, they cut it. and they're separated looking for each other. Doggy, where are you? It's like, he was 5 feet away from you. What did you do? Dog falls down the hill. I'm going to go this way. And maybe he might be over here, you know? Where did you see dog last? Well, he was down that street. Well, let's look down this street. Why the fuck would you do that? Because we're AMC. We're fucking stupid, you know? I don't know. That blew my mind. If they wanted to separate them, just have characters that are family, that love each other, and they're fighting this, mean, and this is in this episode, they fight this vicious gang, they all get separated, and then they just all leave like they don't give a fuck about each other. And that's not true. The real reason is the writers know, because they're the writers, they're going to link them back up somehow. And what's up with this neighborhood? Now, I used to make the argument that, it's a big open world. People don't realize it is huge. If you're in the apocalypse and you're not driving around, roads aren't all open and blah, 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 and you're not traveling and yada, 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 you're only going to explore a certain small section, and it's going to take you quite a while to really expand out. I mean, just in real life, if you were doing that. So, yeah, you're going to have Negan living, a town or two over, and you might not run into him. But The Walking Dead does this in two ways that's majorly annoying. You can have Maggie was apparently living a hop, skip, and a jump away. All right, whatever. So was Negan. All right, whatever. However, on the flip side, not were these mercs, these mercenaries, Daryl's girlfriend shows up in the bonus episodes, Leah, how he finds her. She's just living next to them. He's searching for Rick in all these areas, but never finds Leah until at one point. But when they get separated, the world's so big, everyone is living in this one DC, Alexandria, Virginia. Everyone's living in this one big circle and never running into each other until months, weeks, years later. And then when they get separated, they somehow magically all find each other like the world is so small. I don't know. Anyway, we start off with something that I talked about last week. The camera lighting here. I watched it 3 times. I still don't fathom. They're in the pitch black woods. There's no fire, no light, no nothing, no flashlight. And they film it where you can actually see the light from the camera operator or the light system from the crew. And they did this purposefully. It wasn't like, it was accidentally there. But there's zero logic here because you're out in the woods at nighttime. Every time the camera gets closer to somebody, you can actually see the light reflecting off their gear, their body, their skin, their yada, yada, yada. Like there, he just blows up in the light. Now the Maggie, it's more egregious because at one point Maggie is here. Wait, is it back here? It does feel a little. It does feel like a lot more tension though. Having Gabriel cut, and that's when I was thinking like, oh shit, they're ramping it up. Like this is tough. Even that sound, the soundtrack's got some fire to it. Yeah, here's Maggie. So it's pitch black, but then when we go up on her, it tints the way AMC does this. But now the light hits. You see that aura of the light? Every time we have a close-up, they're using a light so we can see. But from far away, it looks like a pitch black woods. And it's cut one after the next. So you're going right from one lighted scene in the middle of night. I don't know. This is some... And he just disappears. He gets snatched up. Not like in the real world where a body has weight to it. You ever drag someone away? You ever see a bar fight? Man, you're not just picking someone up and whisking them away like, what? I don't know. This guy just gets yeeted. But he gets yeeted off camera. And this is one thing that I think explains specifically, like my tastes are writing that is very grounded And I think where it breaks my personal taste, and this reflects the writing as a whole, characters, dialogue, story arcs, yada, yada, yada. There's a way to write for TV where you write. There used to be, or at least I thought there was a nickname for it where, and it wasn't a positive nickname. It's where writers will write just for the camera. There used to be, and I don't even know if it's an official name, but for example, if you're walking in the middle of an open field, right? An open field, the character would see if someone's standing there ready to stab them off screen. Well, shitty writers will do that, where it's like an open field, the character's walking, and as long as the viewer can't see the bad guy off screen, it's now like the character can't see it either. It's that type of writing. They are doing that more and more and more. Like, he vanishes. Maggie should be able to see him. Now, maybe Maggie's watching him being drug away. Maybe that's the case. But Maggie then vanishes like she's in Mortal Kombat. And we got the light that's back again. Yeah, see the light right here? And then pitch black. I don't know. And this is why I said, like, I wanted to just come on here and just be like, yeah, so here's the 3 positives. Here's what I didn't like, but I just can't. This is shit. Like, visually, it's shit. You have her blown up with the light, and then as soon as you cut it to this shot, it is totally black. But why? I would love for a filmmaker to explain, well, we did the lighting for this reason. And if the reason is simply so the audience can see, then I don't know, man. I tap out. I'm done. If you're gonna be that lazy with it, I'm done. Now Maggie gets this vibe, like and we're back with the light again. The light of the camera operator comes back. Maybe it's just me. I don't know. The whole comments, I haven't even read them yet. You guys are probably like, "Oh, Ronnie, that's normal. We love that shit." And I'm like, "Oh, okay, buddy." So now we lit her up, but there's a bad guy behind her, and she senses it. She's got that wicked sixth sense, you know. The soundtrack is good. I like that soundtrack. And the light is really popping now. I mean, you could see that, right? I know it keeps fading, but I just can't even bother. I don't know, Ronnie. What's a little quick fix? What if maybe she had killed somebody who had a giant fucking torch? You know, I don't know. At this point, I would take they shot a flame and arrow and it stuck to a tree next to her and we kind of see it when it's at the wide shot. I would take almost anything as an explanation at this point. Like, legit. Almost anything. Just so I can say, because I like this shot. She's pretty. She's all like got the huffing and puffing, hair over the face, got that look, determination. Cool, right? Character shot, nice, crisp. But there's... You can even see the light reflecting out of her eyes. But now she throws the knife. I believe it's even a comma stick. Badass. Bam! It sinks into the tree. Guess what happens next? Does he hear her running away? Like... Does he turn around and see her running away like... Because look at behind him. Look at all that. That's what he sees off screen. But a bad writer will write, if it's off screen, then the character doesn't see it, hear it. It no longer exists, you know? But does he see her run away? Maybe he sees her run away, but it's dark. And with everyone scurrying, it sounds like people are running this way. The sounds get distorted. A good filmmaker would do that, where he wants to go after her, but it's kind of distorted. So she knows she's in this direction, but he doesn't know, but he's going to go that way anyway. Nope, this is what happens. She gone. Like, bitch just gone. Look at that. Bro, and I know I paused it to talk, but when you watch it, it happens in 3 seconds. It's so fucking stupid and they know it. They put it in slow motion. The knife goes into the tree, not because it's cool, but because they probably did an edit the first time and they were like, ooh, you know what? How does she disappear? Did anyone, when you were on set filming this, did anyone check the director, because they bring in directors to direct these? Did anyone check the director and go, how is she gone? I mean, she fucking gone. She's like a crackhead in a gas station filling up her pants with some, some fucking cheesesteaks. That bitch is gone. No one did a check. So in editing, they were like, well, let's slow the comma stick, the comma stick down. And when it digs into the tree, our fans are dumb. They won't even think about it. And then when they turn it, guess what? She gone. Look. Man, she's a ninja. She's a ninja. No, the spark isn't there because, again, I wish there was if there's not a word or a name for it, we need to make one up. But there's grounded writing, and there's writing for what would even be a good way to phrase that. It's off-panel. It's like the off-panel offset, let's call it. It needs to have something that, you can't do like a long 3-sentence explanation, just like a quick nickname. And the reason I say offset is because, it's there, but it's kind of offset where it's like, I don't know what else to call it. You guys come up with a better name. How's a crackhead going to steal some cheesesteaks? Bro, you need to go watch that gas station video. There's a gas station on YouTube that films all these people stealing shit. Crackheads be stealing their cheesesteaks all the time or something. I think it's their hoagies. They got like bomb ass hoagies made fresh every day, and I shit you not, they be stealing that. I don't know. Anyway. So yes, we go back and we catch up on Magna. I don't care. Why? Because they didn't flesh her character out when they had the chance. They did this like I'm a bad bitch storyline with her, but she was going against our community, stealing food and all this other dumb shit that made her seem kind of scummy and stupid. And I didn't like her. I wanted to love her. In the comic, I wanted to love her. They didn't do anything with her. She's got this moody bitch kind of stupid look on her face. They did this relationship shit that was more nagging at the time with her and Yumiko that didn't work. So now at this point in time where we should have a connection with Magna, I don't give a fuck. So we got her on screen. Carol's doing some other Carol shit. I love Carol, but I just can't even anymore with her. She's looking for berries, punching holes in walls, cooking rats, killing horses, cooking horses. I don't know. It's like, I don't know. I love this moment. Fantastic. I don't even remember.
I'm hungry too. Do you ever worry about your mom when she goes?
Yeah, okay, so this is the scene where they talked about the parents leaving, and the other scene is where they finally get the food and they talk. But this moment with the legacy characters, nice, refreshing, and it has potential. I know they're ending it, but there's still something they can do with Judith moving ahead. I mean, the actor does really well here. I mean, so far, a lot of the kids do really well here. It feels like they might be missing something to just let this go, time skip it, and then bring in like a late teen Judith and then follow her from there in her own show, which is something they'll likely do. Mark my word on it. They'll do some,
Do it. Grown-ups are always running off doing things. Promise I'll see you soon. Love you.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Adds a little bit there, even if it's just fleshing out the world. And again, it's important that it's legacy characters. If you just showed me characters of some random people that lived there, I would be knocking the scene because it doesn't matter. We don't care. Why are you wasting time? But because it's the legacy characters. Oh my God. Okay, that's wood. I made fun of this the first time I saw it because she's by a brick building and the knife goes zing. I actually give them props. It looks like wood boarded over one of the windows. That's cool. That's fine. Whew, good, because you see some stupid shit sometimes. But yeah, the whole throwing stars, and it feels like they're right on her ass. Got a good chase going on. They set it up with this zombie. That seems a bit loud. They set it up with this zombie breaking through the rail. The rail is all rusted and old. She sets a noise trap, which is definitely something they got from The Last of Us. I don't give a fuck, because I don't remember them doing it much. However, they openly admitted for the Reapers, and this is why everyone asks why the Reapers look so generic, like a video game character or like your generic post-apocalyptic character. At the end of episode 4, Angela Kang talked about how they got inspiration from the Reapers from concept art from post-apocalyptic video games, i.e. The Last of Us and all this other shit. And what else did they do? Heavily shit like this with, because people lived, set traps. So I bet you they got this from that, but I don't care. I love it. It's cool. And it plays a little part in, what's going on. Here's one aspect though, where I'm always talking about environment and atmosphere. I wish it wasn't so obvious that they clearly just got some sort of rundown location. Like, they don't film in a mall. And again, this is a budget issue. They don't film in these areas and dress them as sets. You mix it with CGI, get it looking post-apocalyptic in a clever, clean way. Nope, we have a mall that probably, I'd be shocked if this was a real location, but let's just say it's a real location. And they go to a mall that's been shut down 10, 20 years. That's why it's fucking empty, you know? This is a post-apocalyptic location. Why do we never see real areas? And I mean like in the thick. I know the answer. It's the budget. Everyone likes to say, don't talk about the budget, but this is a starving budget versus post-apocalyptic where she would be walking into a scavenged, rundown mall where there's shit everywhere and danger is around every little nook and corner and crack. But not here though, because this mall closed down before zombies even popped up. I gotta burn through this quick. But this is what I would do for a Flaw and All review. I would go through the episode, pick out all the good stuff that I like and all the bad stuff. But we gotta burn it through. The tension is great. Alden gets wounded. This is a weird thing where it doesn't look like it's life-threatening, but you can see how it's like, oof, it's pulling, ripping open, re-bleeding. That's something that I thought they should have done better on, where the idea is every time he's moving around, it's opening the wound. He's bleeding more, and he's getting weaker, woozier. Instead, they do this generic where he's like just limping the whole time. He's weak and falling down. I don't know. Little things where, yes, he's opening it up and bleeding out. Get him sitting somewhere. Get him bandaged up. It just feels like it makes more sense there. And again, thank you very much for the YOLO Donkey coming in with a 20 bomb. Thank you very much for that support. They did another fake out with Maggie knocking a man down the stairs and hearing his footsteps running her way. Then they cut to commercial and returns to her casually walking. Does this hurt the immersion to you? Yeah, absolutely it hurts the immersion. Abso-friggin-lutely. I didn't watch it with a commercial break, so I might not have noticed the commercial break at that moment. But yeah, this whole getting the horses shit, this is the final season. And I get it, they're starving, but that's what you come up with?
Maybe you've got them fooled, but not me.
Yeah. I do like the back and forth with Maggie and Negan. I do, but alright, what is going on here? Oh, this is another thing that sent me for a tizzy. A tizzy and a half. A tizzy for shizzy. They're walking around. Awesome looking zombie. Got the jaw. Love that shit. Love it. They're just chilling in the woods. Zombies are kind of around. Yeah, look at that. That is awesome. Visually. I love it. Even in World Beyond, they have a zombie, rips his face off. He reveals it's like one of the CRM masks, and it leaves you wondering, well, how did he see to walk as a zombie? And his hand is painted like a zombie? Who did that? I mean, remember the Hunger Games where he's out in the woods fighting with almost nothing, but he paints his body like a tree better than, well-equipped, decent painters. Anyway, so we get zombies. And then because the scene calls for it, not by any clean, clever way. What would be a cool way? They're out in the middle of nowhere. They're in the woods somewhere. Let's say it's a little tiny shack, and I'm just spitballing. You can even make it kind of a funny scene. Maybe they even remark about how unremarkable this area is, and they got lucky. It's a nice, clean area they can make a little pass at, and it's kind of like a shack in with something, an RV. I don't fucking know. And they get up over by it, and they start hearing a lot of tussling. They're like, oh fuck, there's zombies in there. Now that's stupid, but come up with something. And zombies are there. Anything instead of this. There's zombies. Listen, those zombies are far away. The way they move, they're probably tripping over shit. They're so far away, it's not even close to being a threat. But because the sound guy ramps up all of a sudden they're fucking surrounded enough to get bit. What? We're on season 11, writers. Season fucking 11. And they're getting worried. The sound. Oh no, look, there's more of them. This is fucking terrible. This is absolute dog shit. So yeah, the one girl gets bit now. How? Don't ask me. I just complain. I don't actually write it. So I don't know. That's just fucking. We went from this, chilling, to getting your ass eaten. Like writers, or filmmaker, director. We can see. We can see the fucking woods and there's nothing there. A few zombies 20, 30, 40 feet away. Fuck. What else we got? They're in the house. Another scene with the kids, great. I loved it. I loved, we can break them down another time when we have more time, but I loved both scenes with them. Again, a little glimpse of Rosita with the baby, keep it refreshing and relevant. This whole shit with Yumiko or Connie and all that, I just don't even give a fuck anymore. The don't give her hope, blah, blah, blah. This is cool. I just wish they went about it in a more grounded way with the blood loss. Blood loss making him woozy and weak. When he moves, he bleeds more. When he sits still, he can recover better. We got to move. He needs to recover. He needs to stay. We need to go. Done. I'm on point. I'm in it for the ride. What else? I forget how they ended it. I watched episode 4 today. I watched this last week.
I think in a lot of ways.
Oh, yeah. You know what? I missed the one where they're on the road. You guys, if you rewatch this episode, you'll have to check it out. But they're on the road and they come across a car. And it's a real quick 2-second shot. But, yeah, is this it? Yeah. See this? You pan up from the leaves on the road all covered in mucky. You got they even got a little bit of smoke going on or fog going on. Nice atmospheric. They got this wide angle lens on there and you're getting it all in this shot. I mean, yes, it's a bit generic because that's all we see in The Walking Dead is woods, barely any buildings. And again, why? They don't have the budget for buildings, bro. But I loved it. It looks cool, but we only see it for a little bit. Yeah. Anyway, that's about it. Let's get out of this, go to the straw poll. I'm going to put the straw poll in the comment box down below. Guys, go ahead and vote on it. I do have to end this soon, though. No bullshit, because even though my eyes are burning, I'm freaking exhausted. I just want to go to bed, but I want to get another few hours of editing with Friday Part 4. I noticed Dead Meat does a kill count, and they're doing a recount, and they actually posted this Friday, they posted their Part 4 for Friday the 13th. And they're on Part 4. I was supposed to do Part 4 on Friday as well, and then my plan was to do Part 5 on the next Friday coming up. And I'm hoping I can grind like crazy to get that. It might not hit Friday. It might be like Sunday or Monday. But that would be great because then they got that going on. We got October coming up. You know, more fans interested in it. Maybe we can build up some of the horror fans. I do have a plan. My ultimate plan, and this requires a fucking boatload of editing. But my ultimate plan is to do the Fridays. We have a trick or treat bonus if we can get it done with Sam. And also do some Predator 2 with Halloween. Halloween Kills does not come out that I'll be able to do until 2022. It comes out in theater, but it won't come out on Blu-ray for like 3 months after. So it's in theater in what? October, November, December, January-ish, February-ish. So we'll see. What is Negan eating? I think it was just like a pack of granola crackers or something. Old ass Cliff Bar. Yeah, something like that. My Alden being in a church means that the Reapers will find him. Well, you don't know anything in episode 4 because that's all about Daryl. I mean, it was nice. At least we saw Father Gabriel. Is he in 4? Yeah, he's not in this. He's in 4, but that was at least good. Somebody says the Trish best final girl. Trish is a good final girl. I mean, she's cute. And when she's, I have a line in my Flaw and All where I said she's drenched in rain. No, soaked in rain and drenched in fear. I don't know. I liked it. But I say that because she's got the curly hair, but it's tighter now. A look, not tight, but the hair is, because it's not as, like puffy when it's dry. Puffy, it's fluffy. You know how hair is like that, but gets a little wet, gets a little heavier, a little tighter, falls a little tougher. It has that, but it's got the curls. She's got the makeup kind of runny from being in the rain, going out a window. She's got a sexy, like, beat up look, and she's putting up a fight. So she looks good as visually in that. And I'm not talking like in that type of way. She still does, but I mean like for a visual, looks great. You have a Jason that's scary as shit just after her. Up to this point, I think out of 1 to 4, I think the 4 final fight with the final girl in part 4 is probably the best versus Jason. AP says, please keep live streaming after The Walking Dead ends so I can give you money. Yeah. We'll probably do more calm ones because once The Walking Dead ends and we are more, we're building a community and we're growing with Flaw and All, we're likely going to be doing streams with the Flaw and All while editing streams. Once it's broken down, I do have to figure out why I can't pull it up and it shuts off my microphone. So the microphone, holy shit. Here's Negan coming in with like a Lucille to the Dome type of donation. That is a massive help. Huge thank you. Coming in with a bomb-ass $100 dono. He says, she says, Maggie risked her life for Agatha, knowing it's over for her, but lets that kid die in the first episode saying it's not worth saving him. Doesn't make sense to me. By the way, love your Flaw and All reviews. will you be doing video games? Could have sworn you said you were going to do some. Actually, yes, I did say I was going to attempt to see what we can do. And I did try that. I started with The Last of Us Part 2. On my Ronnie Hayes channel, you can see the behind the scenes. I played each chapter because a video game is so long. Doing, doing the whole video game in one video would probably take me an entire month, maybe more, to do the whole game in one shot. And we're talking, this is going to be like a 2-3 hour video. It's a proper review if you cover every aspect, that is the good and the bad. You can't just say, because it's long, let's condense it. So what I did was I separated every single chapter for the first half of the game, and that's the first Ellie mission. I think I did 24 chapters, and that's what I would actually draw from if I was doing the flaw versus all review for the video game. So you'd actually go back and look, and you can get the general idea, but you can start seeing how massive it would be, because some of them are like 20 minutes, but the majority of them are an hour, some are 3 hours, because that's how long the levels are. And I did a test run, and it would be doable, not perfect for every chapter. Some chapters, believe it or not, with the good and the bad, it would only take a few minutes, and you'd be able to go, Last of Us Part 2, Flaw vs. All, covers chapters 1 to 5, for example. And then the next part might just be chapter 6 because it's that big. And then the next video would be chapter 7 to 13, depending on how big or small. It is possible, but we would have to have a solid base to begin with, because when you start it, I don't want to start it and then just ditch it. However, the video games there's so much to it, because again, you're grading the story, the gameplay, the environment, the levels, the mechanics of the game, everything there. And I think I found a clean way to do it without having to do much repeating. The levels are the hardest, though, because you really got to go down through the level and break it down, do some exploring, and really pull. Now, again, it doesn't have to be perfect, but if you're doing a real breakdown, in-depth review, it's going to take time. And holy fuck, it would take time. Now, keep in mind, if we had a community going and we were bringing in enough views to where I can hire an editor, then I could probably punch in a lot of the work and have the editor deal with taking my vocals and the clips from the game and matching them up, syncing them up with a good amount of blueprints from me as far as piecing them together. And it would still take quite a bit of time, but I mean, I'm not going to say no, but it would be tough. I don't know when we would probably start video games. Does anyone? But thank you very much for the $100 dono. You didn't have to do that, but that was incredibly generous and extremely helpful. YOLO Donkey with another $5. Why do they give spoiler-heavy trailers that give the entire show away? I had to stop watching so I can enjoy the show. Yeah, I stopped watching with the trailers too, because they absolutely spoiled. Not only do the trailers spoil episode 4 in a way that made it more annoying, but episode 4 spoils it right before the reveal. They're going to reveal something, and you guys fucking know what it is if you watch the trailers, but I won't say it just in case you didn't. But they zoom in real close with like this bug-eyed, and you're like, I know who that is. Come on, man. I don't know. You know what it is? I do know. I do know. It's desperation. They're desperate to get as much out there to advertise as possible. So if they can put shit in there like what was something that was like a huge spoiler, and yeah, like Sherry is coming to the Sherry and Dwight and yada yada yada. That should have all been an absolute secret, and you should have saw it for the first time on screen and been totally shocked. But they're so desperate to get something relevant out there and to get that hype and promotion, they're giving you all the reveals in the teasers, the behind the scenes, yada yada yada. Yeah, $100 dono definitely is gonna stop the chat. I forget what I was talking about at that time. I should vote. Let me put the straw poll in the comment box. I'm gonna go ahead and vote. Shit. This is This is rough. All right. There's a lot of really dumb shit that was dragging it down. The tension was there. I like the stuff with the legacy characters, and I like some of the small shots, even though it was only a little. The way it was filmed, because they had little spurts of immersion. I'm gonna have to go with meh. It was meh. I know I'm gonna be so wrong on this, where everyone's gonna love it and like it, and that's fine. I think I'm close to clicking like, even though I had a lot of problems with it. It's tricky because, and here's why I think I really rail on The Walking Dead, because I know I do get asked every week. Someone asks me why I really rail on The Walking Dead. The reason why I rail is because imagine I just say, screw it and click like, and not even imagine, but this is how I feel. I'm saying like because, you know what, it's not terrible. I don't mind it, blah, blah, blah. But like is too generous because there's so much they shouldn't be doing in this. And it would be almost like saying, you know what, this is fine. This is what you should keep giving us. But that's not how I feel. I feel like even though this wasn't absolute trash, we should not be getting this, especially for a final season. There's so many cheats and cheap shots. It's unacceptable. So I'm going to go with meh. I picked like, I think, what was it? Episode... I'm going with meh. That's fine if everyone clicked like. I think the majority of you, I'll even predict before we get into it, I think it'll have like will be the biggest. Love might be the second, but I think like will be twice as big as love. Actually, you know what? I'm thinking of, I might be thinking of episode 4. Let's go with like and love. I'll stick with that. Meh will be down there. I don't think there's going to be any hate. If at all, maybe 1, and then dislike is probably going to have 3 at the most, 4 at the most. I don't see a lot of people doing that. Let's show results. Like and meh. Oh, I should have called that. Okay, all right. I guess you guys agreed with me a little more than I expected. I expected like and love to be there, and meh to be where love is as far as the rating. Everything else is pretty much on point. Hate, there's only 1, called it. Dislike, but we'll still get more results. And Benjamin came in with a donation. You guys are killing it with the donos. The no-dos, donos today. Really appreciate that because things have been incredibly rough, especially transitioning over to the stuff that takes a lot longer to put out. But Benjamin says, with a $10 dono, yo, Ronnie, you flawed Bone Tomahawk, saying you couldn't see the tribe raising kids. It's a satanic practice to breed and eat fetus. I've seen docos. It really happens. Gross, I know. Well, that's different, though. We're talking to breed and eat the baby. I can see that, absolutely. However, they are alive and they are existing and they are continuing to exist, and we see that they have been there for a while. They have when you first see, and again, that's why if it was stated where that was like you know what, you made me rethink that, because now I like it because it's darker, but I still flaw it because they have to come from somewhere. Here's my argument. First off, why I love it, because it's dark. Imagine that is their food. That's their refrigerator. They got a female, cut off the arms, the legs, gouge out the eyes, cover the mouth, and then they just use them as incubators for food. And then when the baby's big enough, and then eat, and then, like, that's dark and fucked up. I didn't even think about that. Now that I think about that, that's like so extra fucked. However, on the flip side, they're still having kids and being raised, because the very first time we see anything with the tribe, the troglodytes, it's the two Westerners, David Arquette and Captain Spaulding, they walk into their burial ground, and it looks like that burial ground has gone on for generations. There's tons of different skulls, and it's a graveyard for the troglodyte. It's like their special place. Even if it's more ceremonial, they have been doing this for generations at least. So they're having babies somehow, somewhere, some way. So you definitely gave me a different view of it, because that's really dark and messed up, and I dig it because that's a really dark and messed up, tribe of villains. But I still stand with, it doesn't make any sense because of not that scene. It doesn't make any sense that they didn't add anything about where the new generations of those troglodytes come from, But that's dark, though. I appreciate that that bit of you know what I mean? That bit of opinion nugget from the movie. That's some messed up shit. Hey, Ronnie, apparently there's a character returning from season 1 this season. Do you have any idea who it may be? I have no idea, and I find that laughable. Didn't we just bring Morales back a little while ago? Wasn't he like the last one? Who could we possibly bring back? I mean, everyone's doing shit or dead or not important. I mean, in season 1, everyone is dead. Morgan is on the other show. Who in the world? I mean, Morales' wife? I mean, who in the world is there to even bring back? Final 16 will be the actual final season. Let's hope not. When I first watched 4, it was a meh. The more I thought about it after, I might end up clicking dislike. Maybe it's Jim. Undead Jim. Yeah, Jim's so dead. Reapers made it for me the way they strike better than the Whispers. Yeah, again, they feel, they had this tension, this tense. It's just after watching 4, I just don't care. I think one thing that annoyed me right from the gate is the religious aspect to the Reapers. Hollywood does, there's two things, this is just annoying to talk about, because I personally don't care what your religion is. I don't give a fuck. As long as your religion doesn't force anything onto me, I don't care. And I'm happy for anyone to embrace whatever religion that they want that makes them happy. And again, as long as it doesn't force anything on me, I'll support you. Same thing with politics. As long as your politics isn't forcing anything on me. And again, this is within the whole scheme of us all coming together collectively. And we have a majority minority. It'll happen as far as opinions. But Hollywood is, and it leans to the left, let's be honest, heavily. So when you see more Republican kind of what they would consider states, counties, areas, neighborhoods, this is where we get the whole out in the country, they're all, hillbilly cannibal types, It's not like I guess it's a trope in a way, but that's how it's like kind of viewed. Same thing with religion. Like, religious people are nuts and dangerous. I think there's a portion of them that absolutely are, with all religions. But as soon as we're bringing this up, I'm thinking, like, does anyone even find this shit interesting? I don't find any, like, barely do I find religious villains interesting at all. Like, in the slightest. Why would anyone ever sit there and... Now, given, there's the exception to where you get some religious villains and it's like, ooh, okay, that was tight. Religion, cult-like, whatever. For the most part, I don't find them interesting. I don't think they're done interesting. The Reapers are done the same way. It's so stupid. It's like, yeah, we survived something, so we're like holy people. And then they're bringing in bodies of all his dead people. It's like, wait, run that by me again? And none of the characters mention it. The one person's crying, oh, my brother's dead. And this is the 4th episode. And our character, who should have a brain, a working brain, doesn't say, why would you just attack random strangers that didn't do anything to you? I mean, you're crying your brother's dead. He died because the person he was trying to kill killed him in self-defense. You crazy, stupid bitch, you know? And this is a character we're supposed to like. I'm sorry if you haven't watched it yet. It's Leah. Leah's crying. She's like, no, he's dead. And it's like, your brother's a fucking dick. You know what I'm saying? It's like, we're supposed to give a fuck about these characters? God is with us. His whole crew is just bringing in body after body. We are protected. You know, they're dragging in this guy. It's fucking stupid. And they do the cliche thing. You're gonna see it coming a mile away, where like you get the villain, the ultra. How do you write an ultra scary, fucking twisted, religious villain? How do you do that? You make him kill his own people, his loyal people. Whoa! Like, holy fuck, Walking Dead. You guys are really going in overtime with some extra creative writing here. Holy fuck. I mean, shit. For a moment there, I thought you went down to the local fucking junior high and you asked any random shithead to write you an episode, and this is what we got, This is a bad guy I would have wrote when I was 9. You know what I'm saying? Like, fuck, and stoned. Fuck this shit. How did The Walking Dead fall? And then I'm going to regret this. Listen, I love The Walking Dead so much, I always regret it the next morning. But it's fucking dumb. It's so fucking dumb. The Walking Dead is just, it's a shell of its former self. And it's just fucking shit. It's shit with like, I don't know how else to put it. It's shit with like, again, because the actors do great. They do their work. They do solid work. They're using proper equipment. The sound guy, the people making the soundtracks, the sound effects, that's all thumping. That's all fantastic. It doesn't look or sound like the CW or a soap opera. It's got a nice, it's got a nice look to it. I can dig this. When it comes to just the story and the budget and dialogue, it's like, what the fuck is going on? It's pretty clear the only episode that matters in these first 8 is going to be the 8th to create suspense for the break. Yeah, I don't even think the first was like a premiere, but yeah. Fun fact, Maggie is getting trapped in the room with Negan, straight comic excerpt, except it's supposed to be Rick and Negan, issue 124. Yeah, but okay, I see what you mean for the Whisperer thing, because I felt like we already did that. Whoops. We already did that ahead of time with Gabriel and Negan. Remember, they got locked, but I guess they can do it again because, I mean, The Walking Dead has done repetitive shit in the past just once or twice. I agree about the unrealistic lighting, but I think it's funny that when they actually do it realistic, like when Negan and Gabe were in the trailer, you say it's too dark. At what point? Now, hold on now. There's a difference, a couple different things because I don't remember sitting here and saying it's too dark as in like they're filming it too dark. I don't believe that for one bit. I think you're pulling that out of your ass. I think you're taking me saying here on screen with the bright lights, trying to get a clip to show you and being like, oh crap, the clip I'm showing you is too dark. I don't think, unless you could prove it, go ahead and prove it. Give me a timestamp, because I don't remember, especially not lately, being like, oh, they filmed it too dark. I think you're full of shit. I'll be honest with you. I think you're absolutely full of shit. What was that, episode 1 or 2? Yeah, I think 100% I know what you're talking about. And I was talking about giving you guys a clip that's too dark because the app fades it, right? When you're going play and pause. And again, I could be totally wrong, but I don't buy that for a moment. Because there's times like with Game of Thrones, very clearly, I don't mind when it comes to some dark areas because sometimes some of those scenes you just have to watch at nighttime. There's no way around it. Certain monitors too. Like I know on my phone when I try to watch some stuff, it is too dark. Like with The Walking Dead, there's some scenes I already know. You can't see shit. It has to be in dark. But then on this monitor in particular, I think it's this one. This monitor in particular, I like watching my Walking Dead because those dark scenes are fine. So I am very picky with the dark scenes as far as critiquing them, because I know I can pop them on this monitor. That's why right away I knew something was off in what you were saying. But again, timestamp it. I could be wrong, but I would love to see the context of what I actually said. If you go, and even still, showing something that's too dark and then showing a light out of nowhere is a ridiculous. You're getting their back for no reason. If they filmed a scene that was just dark and you can't see nothing, I don't understand how shining a random light in the scene that doesn't match any natural light helps at all. They can film it in the daytime like they frequently do and cheat it for nighttime, and it looks fine. It's acceptable. You can see everything. They don't have to do... You know what? I did complain that when they were in the caves, because that was some shit lighting. And that was done purposeful, though, because they had this set and they needed to hide quite a bit of it. If you could be able to write the ending for the show, what would you write? I'm not going to answer that. I would love to sit down and parlay some different ideas, but when you're talking about like an ending, you're talking about an actual real writer that gives a shit about the ending isn't just going to be on stream and then never think about an ending and then pop out the greatest, awesome idea. As a fan, I don't even know. I mean, that it all depends. If this was the end, then give us some more interesting twist on the comic ending. Just give us that, because, I mean, what else are you really going to do? You're ending this. You either kill them, give us some hope, show us what life is like after a long period of time. I think that would be kind of cool for the show, to show us, give us that time skip. But now you're saying, Ronnie, what would your ending be as a writer or a fan? But now you don't know the spin-offs, the this, the that. If they're doing spin-offs, my ending would be to end it out, like I said 100 times before, leave Commonwealth, and then we could come back and we can do little mini things with these characters, but again, done better, like mini events, show events, movie events, and then connect it with Rick 10 years from now, however long it takes, and do a reunion of sorts, and finally, do a real reunion with Rick, Daryl, Michonne. If you think people don't like the show or universe, keep it pushing another show. Left myself, in my opinion. Wait. I think if people don't like the show or universe, keep it pushing to another show. I don't know what you're talking about. Feel they strayed too far from the comics with the characters. Even a Negan and Daryl spinoff would be all in. Screw Daryl and Carol. This way, the light in the woods scene is not too dark and not look like they're shooting a run and gun documentary. There's ways to light that wood scene and not be dark, to not look like and that's another argument. There's definitely ways that people have done it before where you can light up, even if they just used a full moon, gives you enough light out in that open, without having trees covering you in the shade. Even when I go outside, you catch a full moon. Anyone who's been outside in like more of a country like that, it lights up the path like crazy. You may have already mentioned this, and I know you already have very nice Steelbook version. However, did you see that Scream Factory is putting out a 4K of Krampus? I already have it pre-ordered. I'm a little annoyed at myself, though, because I pre-ordered it with the poster, and then I double-checked, and I was like, that's a really cool poster, but it's not like whoa. Like with the Friday the 13th, I love that. I don't regret a cent of getting that poster. But the Krampus one, it's awesome, but it's not something. It's something that in reality I should have just waited and then bought it for when it was on clearance, because Krampus will go on clearance. The cool thing about Krampus, though, is they added the stuff that made it rated R. So there's some curse words and there's a little more blood, I'm assuming. I don't expect much, but there's going to be new scenes that the director wanted in there originally. I'm excited for that. Will Fear continue with the main show's end, or will there be no Walking Dead for a couple of years? With the main show. Yeah, Fear's continuing on. Yeah. I'm assuming you've been out of the loop, and that's how you mean that, you know. But yeah, Fear's going to continue on. So far, that's the news. Not trying to be an asshole. I agree that it can be too dark and that it can have unrealistic lighting. I was just making a funny comparison. Yeah, but the only reason why it came off that way, though, is because your comparison, like, give me a timestamp. I mean, you knew to say that, and, like, I don't have any recollection of that at all. And, again, I know we talked about stuff in a different context. Not at all. I don't believe you're being honest. And even if it was like, oh, it was a joke comparison, but if you're not honest, then where's the joke? You know what I'm saying? It didn't come off as a joke. I don't think, I don't know. And again, I could be totally wrong, but timestamp it. Just say, yo, you knew where it was. You knew how to say it. Just tell us where it's at. Let us watch it to see the context. Because in my personal opinion, I don't believe I said that. Not in that context. The actress that plays Maggie looks like she's just there for paychecks. I wouldn't go that hard. You're going to get Daryl killed. Stop running away. Yeah, dog, stop running away. Episode 4 was so stupid. They just throw the dog and he's gone. He's fucking gone. You know, it's like, oh, come on. Just kill dog already. Dog just randomly leaves when they need him gone so Daryl can do his own shit. Just kill the damn dog already. If it's... please don't let them kill Negan. Please, Negan lives quick. I think Negan is the only authentic character whose is emotion without viewership with nostalgia. Yeah, Rick leaving and them ending really did screw it up, because if they would have ended, honestly, if Rick's movies, if they were on point with it and Rick's movies came out, and I know COVID did screw some stuff up, sure, but if Rick's movies did come out and maybe we'd be on the second movie by now, there might be hope to wrap Rick's storyline up with the movies and get him in there with the finale, with the CRM versus the Commonwealth. Fuck Fear. Fuck World Beyond too. You know, there might have been hope to finish it off. But they didn't even get into the movies yet. And again, unless they get rid of the movies, that's a big deal. That's Michonne. That's Rick. That's, you know, where were they at? Imagine Rick's gone for all this time. Only an absolute dog shit of a show would bring Rick back after all this time and never show us where he went, what he was doing, and leave it kind of like a couple flashbacks, or because best believe if they bring him back for the finale, I don't know. I don't know if a movie's gonna work. I mean, if he comes back, I love Rick. He's my favorite character, and I wouldn't give a shit. You know, I'll rent it when it's in the clearance bin, but once he finally returns, there's nothing new. There's no draw. It's just like, you know what? I like Andrew Lincoln's Rick. I want to watch him. I'll check that out, but I'm not rushing. If they come out with a Rick movie, next week, I'm there. Is it the theater? I'm going. Do I rent it on AMC? I'm renting it. I'll be there right away. But if Rick comes back and then we go back in time with a movie, I'll see it whenever I have time, because fuck it, it's not important anymore. Who's better, Scott Gimple or Angela Kang? I would say they're even, to be honest. They both have different pros and cons, and it equals out the same, in all honesty. I will say I've noticed more of the off-camera offset bullshit that they're doing with Angela Kang, where it's like, if it's off-camera, it doesn't matter, You can disappear as long as the camera's not looking at you. But I've noticed a lot less really stupid, poetic, waxing philosophical bullshit dialogue with Angela Kang. So the dialogue got an upgrade, more authentic, more often. However, when it comes to the atmosphere and the scenery, I'm noticing more and more cheats. Now, we were getting cheats and gimmicks under Gimple's reign as well, especially the gimmicks. The gimmicks were frustrating, but they're still here, those gimmicks. He's back. Wait, his back is broken from carrying this bloody show. Rick can't come back. Oh, yeah. All right, let's refresh the results. It looks like is taking the lead. I can see that. I'm a little surprised in the meh. There's more people that were meh than I expected. We are all dropping in total votes. This entire, I think, the last 3 years, we were pretty good with votes as far as like the first day. Season 10 going into season 11, you saw just a drop everywhere, even on social media with interest and The Walking Dead trending and just all that. You're just seeing a drop. So maybe people are just watching it whenever they get around to it. And here's another thing. Remember how I talked about when we finally get inside buildings and I showed what was it, like a mall with an escalator? They're using buildings that are abandoned in real life or sets they can slap together. Well, here's a church, and it's not a cool post-apocalyptic church. It's yet again another abandoned building, or now here I should say it's most likely because of that roof. Look at that fucking roof. It's most likely a set that they slap together, or it's on a sound stage, some shit like that. That was utilized for something else and they can slap it together. I don't know, but it's either that or it's a real life abandoned bullshit thing. The roof throws me off though, because unless, see how this is like fresh over here? Unless in order for the insurance to film here, they had to slap some plywood on this, because we don't see what the outside looks. You don't need to put shingles and all that. Slap on a roof so don't cave in on your actors. Put a support beam in here. This could be an actual abandoned location. Throw some shingles in this hole here. Slap up some cobwebs. Call it a day. Dust on the floor. But my point is, it looks like instead of being a post-apocalyptic place where people were surviving, and early Walking Dead had that a lot, and it was visually stunning, where you had tents, and you remember the library picture. Look at this. Okay, I'm gonna do this real quick and then we'll shut it down. Look at this on the screen. Most places we go to in the world of The Walking Dead, it's like this, where it's an abandoned something or other. Whether it's a mall, a church, it's always fucking abandoned. Now, if you go back to what episode would be a good one? And here's the thing, we could just pick an early episode. Let's do a season 1. Episode 2 would be good, or 3 and 4. What's episode 2? Let's do 3 and 4, because I think they go back. I think they go back to town with Daryl.
He's here.
Oh yeah, they do go. They go back. What do you want? Wow. It's real quick, but let me show you. All right, so this is season 2, The Walking Dead. You guys remember it. Merle got locked up. They're going back to get Merle, and they start walking through. Now, again, this is early on, and you can see it's an actual location. Papers on the floor. It's a mess. It's an actual location, and I don't mean this like in real life, but I mean in that world on the show. It's a real location that was affected by survivors, zombies, the post-apocalypse.
In them to take out these two son bitches.
Look, furniture, drawers, a lamp, shades,
One-handed.
couch. It's an actual location. And there's even more where they go down in... Wasn't there like a dress shop?
We're not alone.
Yeah, but you guys get the point. If you watch this, it's quick scenes too, but I thought he shot a zombie. Remember he shot a zombie? And then again, outside in the city. Yeah, here we go. Daryl shoots a zombie. And again, this is in their world, it's a real life location. Look, they're in the mall, so you got the shop and stuff, and they're about to shoot a zombie. You're going to see a mess. You watch the other angle, there's tents. This was frequently, and we even got it as far back, just quick remembering, season 5, and when they were traveling Alexandria and all that. The more we get now, sets like this, more often. When I think back to episode 4 of this season, it's sets like this. Someone said it looks like the church Rick killed the cannibal in. That church was built for that episode, and I would have imagined, since it was built only for that episode. Keep in mind, that's I know a lot of people don't realize that some of these sets are slapped together strictly for episodes, right? That church was built just to kill the Terminus people in. So most likely they tore it down, because they most likely rented the lot. I don't even think they own the land. I forget again where that was located. Some is rental property, some is property they own. And again, this could be it, but I would have imagined they would have torn it down by now. But it could be, because Rick and them came in these doors. This could be the old set, and that's why it looks like this. I mean, you might be right. It could be. Yeah, Nebraska, someone said. I mean, are you talking about when they were in the bar? It was an actual bar. Will Herschel kill Negan? No. Exactly, man. They needed to get at least the first movie out, but they dropped the ball. Negan is the voice of the fans when they ask what the fuck are point of logic. Yeah, he is definitely the voice of the fans. It's supposed to be a South African accent. Who's better? Scott Gimble and Kang? All right, we already read that. Yeah, I think the bad guy has some sort of like South African accent. It sounds like Aussie in that one introduction. I thought he was Australian or something. How many main characters die this final season? I would only imagine like maybe 2 at the moment. And again, it depends on who you even call main, at this point. I don't think I actually show up like with the group. The final episode with Rick will be him taken away in a helicopter where they landed and him laying in a hospital bed at the end. Season 1 is great. Yeah, the first episode is emotional, man. And that's what a character we just met. And again, they do a great... you got a great performance with Morgan. When he does that little moment where he's like, here I am grabbing stuff and she's grabbing the photos or some shit. And that little beat where it's like he chokes on his own sadness, He just has that like, it's not a hiccup, but it's like a sadness hiccup. If you watch that moment again, Lenny James kills it with that role all the way through. It's just fantastic. Looks like the church. It does look like that church, though. I don't know what you guys are talking about. Enjoy the season. Taylor tries to convince everyone not to kill the kid. Yeah, that was good. Dale's death was stupid, though. Yes, Dale's death was stupid. See, Dale's death is 2 things, too. The zombie that's off camera, so maybe they did cheat it. All TV shows and all movies do it to an extent. I shouldn't say all. It's common. Again, cheating something because it's off screen is something that's common. I just watched some sort of cannibal. It was like a lower budget cannibal killers type living out in the country. What was that? Someone told me to watch it, and I checked it out. And there's a scene where 2 girls are walking in an open field, and off the side of the camera, this guy just jumps and hacks the girl through the gut. If it was real life and the characters acted like, real people, they would have seen him running for 100 feet before he got to them, because it was a legitimate open field. Grass was like knee high. There's nowhere for him to hide. That stuff sucks and should never be in a movie. If you're ever recording, if you're an independent or you want to make a short on YouTube, don't cheat it like that, because the audience is not dumb enough to where they're just going to, some of them really are. They're just like, oh, something happened, but the most of them will write it off, but they're going to look at it like it's a cheap scene or moment. The church was reused and is now the one in Alexandria. Alexander? Are you sure about that? Because was that on the same property? I don't believe that was on the same property. If I remember right, I mean, it's been a while, but unless you're talking the way they built the church, they were able to pick it up and relocate it. But again, the church burned down, didn't it? They had to rebuild it anyway. So I don't know if that matches up. Are you sure about that? I've seen episode 4 already. What accent is Pope? Oh, okay. That's the accent talk. I enjoyed half of this episode, but I just didn't care about the woman looking for the horses. I didn't care either. Pope kind of reminds me of Teddy from Fear. Weird facial hair, glasses, just creepy looking. I didn't get that reminder, but I could see where you're coming from. The actor who played Dwayne did a great job too. Yeah, I think it was a great job in all around. Said it was too dark in live stream. Wait, you said it was too dark in live stream. Just meant in general that I had to critique it before in other vids. I'm sorry, man. I love your vids. It's not a problem, bud. It's not a problem. I'll go back and look. Like I said, maybe the context was there, but or maybe it sounded like that. But I just I don't normally. Because again, it's I'm well aware it's different monitors. It depends on what you're watching it on. And I know I have a photography light, so when it comes to the dark scenes, it's hard for me to see it. So it would just be something weird for me to say. But I'll look at it and see. But it's no big deal. I wish I could care for the show ending, but I just can't. It's my faith in the Rick movies. Blah blah blah. Girl's dick back, and then no. Aaron underutilized this season, gives me Jesus vibes, most criminally under. Yeah, he's underused, and it's a shame. I think they just have too big of a cast. What else could it be? I mean, honestly, Aaron should be doing more. He should be up there more, getting more stuff. I don't know. No death will be as stupid as Carl's death. Carl's death was dumb as shit. Probably one of the worst. Yeah, Lenny James was definitely a highlight. Okay, let's end this out. Let's refresh this. I could get rid of The Walking Dead. Bang. Bye. Let's refresh that. I wonder if I can pull up. If for some reason it shuts off my mic, I'm just going to end the stream. But I want to pull on my editor and see if it'll work. But if it shuts my mic off, I'll just fucking end it. Because I'm about to end it, but I want to show you guys a little clip of... Because it shouldn't shut it down. Yeah, we still on? Yeah. Part 4. Bro, the amount of editing that goes into these, I love them. But holy fuck, I'm even looking at what I have to do to finish. And... I screwed myself over because what I was doing before, the way I was editing the videos before, is I would take the base, which would be the basic foundation of the video, the voiceover. So the voiceover with the clips and anything that was a sound voiceover going all the way through. If it's a drop or a cover up or a backdrop, that's what, like, visuals. Those you can place over the voiceover. The voiceover is the base when you're putting together any type of edit. And that's the sound. The sound is the base just because of the way it's easier to move the visuals around. So I put, and that's because we have sound effects for the point system. So again, when you get that all in the editor, moving stuff is a real pain in the ass because you got to do it in a specific way or it'll mess up. So anyhow, before I would do the whole voiceover part and add the clips, and then when I was all done, there'd be a whole bunch of blank areas where there's no visuals except for the clips. And then I would go in and put the still images in. Jing, 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 jing. And then I would go in and put all the edited still images where I have to Photoshop them. And those take the longest. So I would save that for the end. And it felt like that took forever. But what I did this time for part 4 is I started putting it together. And I'll show you here because I can open it on the screen. Actually, you're not going to see. You're going to see... Oh, what are you going to see? Yeah, okay. You're going to see the... I was trying to show you this. Wait, why won't it let me do it? Yeah, it won't let me do that. That's weird. I was trying to show you this. Oh, yeah. So when you do these tracks, it's weird doing it on this screen just because it looks a little different. But when you're putting in these tracks... Scream Factory box set. A number of factors led to this Scream Factory box set. When you're putting in these tracks, I did the voiceover and then I'll drop in the drops. But what I was doing now was starting from the very beginning.
A haircut? Honey, get a haircut.
No.
And I did everything. I did the scene, the clip, the edit. I did the switch because I moved things around. The sound effects, all the visuals, put them all in. So everything's all done as I'm going from beginning to end.
Honey, get a haircut.
Like this is all done. I'll move it over here now. You know, looking at the edit's boring, but so this is all finished and completed from the very beginning to where I'm at. Like I think I'm at like minute 11 or 12 or something in this one's going to be like a 20-minute. So it's all done. And I don't have to go back and add any images, add any sound effects, add any overlays, except for the numbers. Those are always last. And for some reason, it just took twice as long. It took forever. 5 review.
Our next movie is Friday the 13th, the final chapter, an immoral and reprehensible piece of trash that sold more tickets on its opening weekend than any other movie so far in 1984.
I got him in there. They hate that. Yeah, I love this intro here. It came out good. I had 3 different intros to put together here, and I put this one together on the fly while I was editing. And I love how it came out because it's Corey Feldman from part 4. Instead of being excited that he's watching a girl get undressed, he's excited watching a horror movie. But here's the scene that I was laughing at. I was going to preview for you guys before. Where's it at? Yeah, right here. Oh, hey, they did toss in a hitchhiker, but she don't last long yet. Jason seems pissed. Probably because he got beat by a girl. Twice. Don't laugh. You're next. Now, it's jerky for you guys. Let me explain, though. When you're doing something with a lot of editing, and I mean a lot, there's a ton of clips and images, video clips, sound effects, music, and some of it is high-def images. Even if it's not, even if it's just standard definition, but there's so many clips. For every video for Flaw and Awe, there's thousands of clips and edits for every video that I do. And because of that, my computer isn't strong enough to render it in real time as a preview. So you're seeing... Oh, hey, they did toss in a hitch. It's not as smooth. That's only because the computer's not strong enough. Once I render it, you'll be able to watch it even me while I'm editing it. I don't ever see what my videos look like smooth until I render it totally and it's finished, because then it plays like it condenses it and renders it into one 2 gigabyte file. Anyway. Oh, hey, they did toss in a hitchhiker, but she don't last long. See, it's a little Jason choppy. Seems pissed. Probably because he got beat by a girl. Twice. Don't laugh. You're next. Now that you're Disney's bitch. I love these. All right, it's smoothed out a little bit, so I let it play. But, yeah, I love that little bit with Predator. Nice. You get Jason with the axe in his head, and Predator just laughs at him. Twice. I like that. All right. I'm going to give you guys a little tease for part 4. Friday 7, Carrie versus Jason, fucking awesome. Yo, just in time, too, actually, it's a lot early. I should be getting tomorrow, UPS should be bringing my part 7, Jason, from NECA. So I'm going to have 1 to 7 in figure form, plus they didn't make an 8. They didn't make a 9 current day. And I do have Jason vs. Freddy, and I do have the remake. So they didn't make 8, 9. I'm sorry. Yeah. They didn't make 8, 9, and 10 because 9 is Jason Goes to Hell. 11 is Freddy versus Jason. 12 is the remake. So I have every Jason in 7-inch style except 8, 9, and 10. Even though I'm not too excited for HBO Last of Us, I hope we can get live streams for it. I miss those. We probably can't because... Are you talking about the TV show? I think, especially at first, they want people to go to HBO. That's going to be their bread and butter. That's going to be their new big show. So depending on how they're feeling, I think they're going to blast people with copyright claims, blocking their videos. So I don't think I'll be able to do this. I might be able to do it, but not play any clips and just show the pictures from the episode. That's the way I can do it. So we can stream it that way. Maybe. We'll see. Because if it's not popular, to be honest, if the streaming doesn't pick up, the streaming kind of the last, actually with COVID, in the last year and a half, streaming kind of really fell. I know with season 9, I get it. It was season 9. We're pulling in, and these are people that weren't even subscribers, but I think we were pulling in around 1,800, during the streaming. Right now, we're only around like 200 people watch. It's just the last year with The Walking Dead, it's just low interest or lower than usual. I don't cover the predictions and yada, 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 so that doesn't help me either. But we'll see. I mean, we'll do streams, but I don't want it to turn into a thing where I'm just looking for stuff to stream. I want to stream where there's actually something that we can benefit from. Are we sleeping as Shane is the best death? I'm not really sure. I haven't made up my mind on best death for yet. Whoosh Bader says, dude, I just saw episode 4 and you're reviewing episode 3? Well, yeah. I mean, I don't know your schedule. I mean, how the fuck do I know what you're watching? Plus, your comment is kind of out of context. Episode 3 aired tonight, bud. So, yeah, why wouldn't we review episode 3? Episode 4 airs tomorrow. I'm sorry, next week. Yeah, tomorrow. Next Sunday. I'll talk about it then. I've already seen episode 4. I thought it was shit. But there's a quick tease of my review. Look for any final questions we might have, or you guys. Fred said, I'm not getting notifications for your vids anymore, and I'm constantly unsubscribed. I watch your flaws and awes and weekly live streams, yet YouTube never recommends your vids and unsubs me. I've been having that problem for a while. I know every week I get someone that messages me and says like, hey man, what? You don't do YouTube anymore. It's been like a year. And I'm like, well, I don't do it as much, but we still do stuff. And then next thing you know, they're like, holy fuck, I just watched like 10 of your vids in a row. YouTube hasn't showed me anything in forever. That was part of the reason why I started that backup channel as far as to archive my videos. Now I know YouTube came out and said if you do a backup channel, they'll take it down if you're double uploading. So I have it just kind of chilling. If we continue to have this problem and we build up a big amount of flaw and all, I may permanently just retire the channel and move to a new one. I don't know what else to do because, again, it's not like, it's not like just a couple people have this issue. Every friggin', it feels like every couple days I get somebody that remembers and they're like, hey, you don't make content. Oh, shit, YouTube doesn't promote it. I don't know what else to do when YouTube itself doesn't promote your shit. Or YouTube unsubbing people is a big problem. I get shit all the time. YouTube unsubbing people. I got something that said the stream was all right. Last couple questions here. I mentioned before, but I hope we can get live streams back next year for HBO live stream. Like I said, we'll see what the interest is. I hate this releasing episodes a week early, so I don't have AMC Plus. I'm basically behind. Yeah, AMC got real greedy with that. It sucks. I don't like it either, and I have AMC Plus, and I think it's shit. There's too much concentration with both Commonwealth and the Reapers. I bet you anything we'll wrap up the Reapers by episode 8 and then focus fully on the Commonwealth. They'll likely do something like that. That sounds about right for them. But it leaves you wondering why. Like, why? When it's all said and done, we'll see. At what point did The Walking Dead lose its magic for you? I know the exact moment. I predicted it. I turned to my cousin and I said, because we had a watch party. It was one of the biggest episodes. I turned to my cousin and I was like, it's over. It was the season 6 finale. When they pulled that gimmicky cliffhanger, we had it was an event. I mean, it was an event. It was something that was fun and enjoyable. And then, we made time, me and a couple cousins, everyone I knew was watching the show. And we went, and we were ready to, tomorrow, any fan is going to talk about this. This is a big deal. I got my, my channel going on. We're going to talk about it a whole week. And it was just a shit show. It was actually one of the worst endings, cliffhangers you could have possibly thought up or imagined. It benefited only the show and no one else. Only the show. And it shot himself in the foot simultaneously. I remember turning to my cousin. I was just kind of like, what? At that point, none of us. This was a big event. None of us had fun. I know my one cousin was just like, I'm done, totally. And he was, every week we would talk about the show. And the moment they pulled that shit, because it's no longer about the momentum, the storytelling, the emotion, what you're doing. It's now about how can we fuck with you to get you to watch and tune in next week. We're already doing that. Just give us good shit. Just give us good show. You know what the gimmick was? It was for people that don't watch. So what AMC did is they said, and Gimple, let's blame Gimple because he did it. What Gimple said is, the loyal viewers that watch us, fuck them. They don't give us enough clout, and they were getting a ton of clout. We want more people. So what we're going to do is we're going to bait them, get a bunch of press during the break, and then when we come back, it's going to be massive. But it blew up in their face because what ended up happening was exactly what we predicted. It was leaked well in advance, and by the time they returned, the fans were so annoyed that the deaths, instead of being exciting, it was the final nail in the coffin for a big chunk. And they said, fuck this. You're going to jerk us around with our emotions, with the momentum of something exciting. You're going to put it on pause. Then you're going to turn around and just pointlessly kill. I don't mind that it was brutal, but some people do because it was pointless in a way that magnified it. Again, it should have just been either Glenn or just do Abraham and save Glenn for something else. Now, I felt like Glenn needed that death, but Abraham was just tossed in there. He should have died during all out war, in all honesty. Anyway. I mean, it could be misclicks from. Sure, some of it could be misclicks, but I thought that I know. What was like 2 years ago? I didn't believe anyone when they said YouTube is unsubbing me, blah blah blah. Cause not you guys, but like a lot of channels were saying that. I didn't believe them at all. But I noticed something weird happening where I was unsubscribed from channels, and I'm not, accidentally unsubscribing from multiple different channels. There's no way. I'm talking like it was a whole clip of people that I watched on the regular. They have a video coming every Friday, every Wednesday, and it was like for one whole month period, it was nonstop. Why am I unsubscribed to these people? That was when it was like, you know what? Ronnie, YouTube is recommending your reviews like 5 years. Ronnie, YouTube has been recommending your show reviews from like 5 years ago lately. Yeah, I don't know why they're doing that. I wish they would promote Flawverse all. I end up being subscribed to random channels all the time. Bro, I've gotten that and it's weird as shit. Like, there was one van one. I remember seeing articles where they were like, this fucking girl made a video, lived in her van for a week, and now she's got like 10 million subscribers. And I was subscribed to her. I didn't know who the fuck she was. I don't know what the fuck was going on. I didn't subscribe to her. My daughter didn't subscribe to her because, my daughter's had her own phone and tablet now for a while. I didn't do it. I don't know. I didn't even know who the bitch was. Yeah, the mommy cliffhanger was shit. Yeah, misclicks. No, the part of the misclicks does have a little validity because the way YouTube, if you ever watch it on your phone, for me, it will load part of the screen and then it fills in the rest, so it jumps down. Like the screen will jump down because it fully loads up. What that does is now that takes the subscribe and unsubscribe button and it shifts it down to where now you're scrolling for comments and yada, yada, yada. So if you're going to click on a comment or scroll down, I can see that again. But that's like, once, maybe in a year, every, I don't know, that's like a big missed thing. I think there is a good chunk that's having problems, but I think some of them could genuinely misclick. Is Connie going to have a show in the last episode or what? How are they going to explain on time that went by? She's coming up in another episode. Do you think Negan will be the one to kill Pope? No, I don't know. I mean, it could fit because he's, bringing himself back. But then again, Daryl's the lead. He kills everybody. I'm take it or leave it. I mean, Negan probably should have been the one to kill. Well, Negan should have been the one to kill Beta, but in a way. But since he wasn't, maybe he'll get Pope. I don't know. It's possible. All right, there you go. Connie's back in episode 6. Pissed off we were with the fake out of Glenn's death. It was so pointless then to just kill him off with the bat. Yeah, again, I agree with the fans that said Glenn's death was pointless. I viewed it a different way, though. Outside of how they cheated his fall, because his fall was filmed really poorly. They could have just added a second dumpster and it would have been perfect, fine. I like how it... Because again, it maybe they fucked up on advertising it, but Glenn's death wasn't filmed. It wasn't supposed to. Maybe in execution it was done poorly, but it wasn't supposed to be like, oh, Glenn's dying. It was supposed to really show that we're unsure because Maggie was unsure. Now, I called it right away. I mean, you could go back and look. In my review, go back and check it out right now. And I'm trying to remember, and it's probably really cloudy, but the minute that happened, I said there's no way. I bet you any money it was to yada, yada, yada. And I was right on the money. I was on the money on that one. And the thing is, it felt like a real death, but that was the gimmick because they wanted you to feel how Maggie felt. Not that, oh no, Glenn's dead, but being unsure. And again, it was risky. A lot of people hated it. I give them props, though. I see it a little different. I thought it was done. I thought it was awesome, but it was poorly executed. I will admit that. Freddy versus Jason, final girl, Lori, hot as hell, but damn, at least she killed. Bro, I tell you what, I was coming up with this pitch idea for, like, imagine a Jason Voorhees TV show, but I was thinking, I want a human Jason, but then I was thinking, what if you do a TV show that was like a big love letter to the entire franchise? Stupid shit or not. Like, for example, have Crystal Lake be like a slightly cursed area. Just give it some sort of cursed background to it, to the lore. You do the TV show, and you have a community around Crystal Lake. So you have a Tommy Jarvis. You see the family when they're not even dealing with Jason Voorhees at the time. Because again, it's like the TV show, but imagine like The Sopranos, where all this shit is going on. You have people that are junkies, and then later they start, getting more mixed up with the mob by episode 3 or by season 2 and 3. And the people that were mixed up with the mob are on the lower tier, and then by season 5 they're like, a shot caller. So think of it kind of like that, where you do this. It's about the Crystal Lake community, but you're showcasing Tommy Jarvis, and there's a sci-fi element where you have the girl like 11 from Stranger Things, and this is before Stranger Things. Tina from part 7, she has that where she can control things with her mind, and they're running tests on her, and she has a tragic backstory. So you all have all this crazy shit going on, and you can start it off with Jason's mother legitimately being like yada yada yada, stalking a camp. So that way you get the vibe, and you can go back to the nostalgia, even film it like it takes place back then. So the first season, maybe the first 3 or 4 episodes could take place, around that time. You can see young Jason, and again, only for a little bit. He drowns. They end up reviving him, but he's not the same. And legend has it he dies, but his mother does keep him locked away from the world to keep him protected. And he's never been the same after he died. And again, we can get into more of that. But that way, when we do the first season where his mother starts killing people when they bring the camp back or try to, he's actually there. So you're doing a remake of the very first one. But in this, imagine watching the first Friday the 13th, but imagine Jason is there with his mother. Jason was in the shack, and that's why his mother was in a hurry. She had something to do, yada, yada, yada. So she's coming back, but Jason was the one who mutilated the body. He was the one who threw the body through the window. Because again, now it matches up. Before it didn't make sense, but now it does. And then he witnesses his mother die now. And that leads into the lore of, because again, Jason would have been 10 in 1957 when he drowned, and they opened it in 1979, 1980. So now he's, do the math for me. Now he's in his 20s, right? By movie 2, Jason is in his 20s. A lot of people forget. Maybe even 30s. Do the math. I forget what it was. I think it is his 30s. He's like 32. But now we have a 30-year-old or late 20-year-old Jason for season 2, and we officially follow him. We can even follow him early in the first season. And I was coming up with these really wicked things where the final girl gets away in part 2. She can have reoccurring roles, but she doesn't want to come all the way into Crystal Lake. But when she finally does, to try to like heal herself, some shit pops off. I don't know. I think it would be fucking crazy. Again, you're taking the elements of the original, and you're doing them like a love letter the best you can, but there's gonna be stuff where it's like, do we do that? Like, some people don't like zombie Jason, the telepathy, the curse stuff, but in a way, if you were doing a big love letter, some of that you're gonna have to do. I mean, and maybe it might even be a little fun to kind of just play around with it. Have this whole world and community. Imagine taking the entire Friday the 13th franchise, the memorable characters, but remaking them in today's day and age as a show, but like off the hook, fire. I think that would be incredible. It would probably be a project that would bring in whoever was running it as much money as they have ever seen, money and popularity and revenue, especially in the horror community. It would be like a mini Walking Dead version inside the horror community, because the horror community is vicious when it comes to devouring, very much like zombie fans when it comes to devouring things that they enjoy. The Walking Dead was something that I talked for a long time about, how a zombie show can be more popular, a movie show, than what people give it credit for. And then The Walking Dead blew up and people were like, man, we never thought it. I'm telling you what, the Friday the 13th franchise has the potential. It has what is needed in there. You know, it has the seeds to grow to be some fire. You know, as long as you have the right people at the helm calling the shots creatively, I'm telling you what, man. I'm telling you what, it would be off the hook for the next decade. The next decade, you can do something like, listen, and I think that would be incredibly fun. Just fun. Even just that creative playhouse. Like imagine going from creatively within the show, going from, or making up the choice. Do you now go to the zombie Jason type of, human Jason, zombie Jason? They did it in the movies, and that was written off as a way to just bring them back anyway for the money. But for the show, like, do you do that? Do you bring in the Jason versus, whatchamacallit? Carrie was, I guess, the pitch for it. Some people might say, yeah, do that whole show, but don't do the Jason versus Carrie aspect. And I think that does an injustice, because you're capitalizing off the whole nostalgic vibe and feel for what you did before. So maybe you do need the zombie Jason. And again, imagine Jason in part 7. He looks fucking awesome. Where's some footage, Jason in part 7? Imagine this. I gotta go. You guys get me talking about fucking shit I love and I'll never shut up. Here's Jason in part 7. Look, he's the fucking bomb. Look at him. He's got all the shit from his masks. The axe in it, the head, the propeller chewed up the side of his jaw. Where's a better looking one? I don't have any full body shots, but is that part 7? Yeah, it looks like a beast. I didn't pull the footage from part 7 yet, but here's him squishing the dude's head. He's popping his head like a grape. Here's him chewing people up. There's even a figure. Oh, here's an iconic image. Look at that. His jacket and shirt and all that's shredded. I could have sworn I had better. No, that's here's a NECA figure. And this should be coming tomorrow. I got this coming in the mail. Look at that. He's all shredded, pus, and he's got that crazy tool he had. Here's the back of him. Just fucking killer. Imagine this look. You can't see that. Here, let me pull this over. Imagine this look. Yeah, imagine this look done now. With the shit we can do now. Bro, fuck. That would be so cool. Gimple took over as showrunner. He ruined that. I never heard of that one. Da Vinci's Demons. A movie teaser. Series finale. Negan escapes but shot in behind. Someone whispers, "I told you, not today, not tomorrow. I'm gonna kill you, Negan. Die, Rick." That might be a little tricky to do, but you could get away with something like that. Negan be looking old and frail. Sometimes he does. Yeah, he's tall, skinny. Freddy versus Jason. Final girl, Lori. Hot hell, but damn, at least you killed Freddy. Welcome to the world, bitch. Yeah, that was terrible. Remember you freeze frame in the fall from the dumpster? Yeah, did I? I probably analyzed the shit out of it because he fell funny and it didn't make any sense. Ronnie, I remember because you set my mind at ease. Ah, yeah, you remember. I remember when you pulled the gotcha moment when you faked us out saying you saw what happens after Lucille cliffhanger. Yeah, that was so fun, but it blew up my face because not everybody, but it turned into a fight where people were like arguing in the comments, and I didn't mean for people to argue in the comments, but the whole idea was like imagine like doing a skit as a commercial for like hyping it up. That was the whole idea. And for the first 2 hours of me putting that video up, it worked because somebody at AMC caught wind of that taken off, and they approved something that they were going to do where they were going to leak Maggie getting killed. So they found out about it catching off from what I heard. So they leaked the Maggie thing like 3 hours later. I didn't coordinate with them, but I heard that was popping off and they decided to do that. They had that card ready to go and they were going to play it anyway, closer to the release. Well, someone in the know told me they slipped it in there because the shit I did was, if you went to Google at that time, because we were looking at it, as soon as my video dropped and started really taking off, the search, the relevance, the Walking Dead just started going up and trending. And for the first like 3 or 4 hours, I was like, it worked. It's fucking awesome. This is cool. Everyone's excited, crazy. And then I think from like hour 4 on, it turned into a shit show because then half the people, they just wanted the spoilers. They were like, don't fucking talk about it. Just email us the spoilers, show the footage. But there was no footage. Because again, it was a skit about being gutted from, you guys aren't ready. Like if you watch it back now, it's ridiculous. It's me crying, like not even crying, but like just like, guys, it's so bad. It's like, it's so bad. I don't know. It was like, at first I thought people were just gonna laugh and not even take it serious. And there was a few comments that were like, "Oh, Ronnie, that crying looks terrible," And it was even something that I just filmed. I was making a different video, and I leaned into the camera as a joke. And on my second take, I stopped laughing, and I did a take where I did it for real. But again, the first take was a joke, and I just took the second clip and I uploaded that, and I was like, "Oh, this would be fun to fuck around with." It was not fun. First 4 hours was fun. First, like the next 2 weeks, though, oh my god, it was fucking nonstop, yada yada yada, bitching about it. I think the first day was 2 days. I think was just terrible because I can't even tell you how many emails I got, messages on Instagram, Facebook, social media. No one cared about anything except for, will I send them the clip? That's all they wanted. People in spoiler communities, I got an offer to buy it from a spoiler site, and I straight told people, everyone who emailed me as much as I could, I was like, bro, it's a fake skit. There's no footage at all. I mean, I'm not even into spoilers, that. And everyone got pissed. They cursed me out, fucking every name in the book, all because I didn't actually have spoilers to give them. They were mad. I'm like, what the fuck, bro? Your stream sent it through super chats. I always send through. I appreciate that, bro. Oh, I feel you. Fred. Businesses are getting plowed recently. Writers need to do something. I hope it picks up for you, though. Daring, the safe writing is boring. I agree with that. Ronnie, just want to let you know I've been watching since 2015, and I love hearing your opinions on The Walking Dead, and your flaws and alls are really cool. Love the detail, the way you do them. Well, I hope you love them enough to stick around and give us a shot. I heard Candyman sucks. A friend of mine told me about it. I'm not really interested to see it. I'll eventually watch it, but from what he told me, I'm not in a hurry. But I appreciate that. Yeah, I'm not big on my Halloween Part 2 from Rob Zombie. They sound straight fire. Jason had the body of a 40-year-old though. In which movie? Because it does go back and forth. I mean, the actor who played him in Part 4 was in his 50s, and he was pretty damn intimidating. The actor who played him in Part 2 was young, and he does look like little and frail. But how funny is that? And then there was another younger guy, I think he was like in his late 20s, that played him in 3. Tall Richard Brooker, I think. I forget the ages, but I know Ted White was in his 50s when he played him. And he was running and fucking deadly and all that. Dawn of the Dead, Snyder Cut hits. Dawn of the Dead will come. Candyman, the original, will probably come. Yeah, I'm getting off now. I love chatting with you guys. I really do. And like I said before, when I don't do the streams, it's only because there's so much other work I got to do. And we need to make sure the interest is there in order to do it. But otherwise, I would stream 3, 4, 5 hours and just bullshit with you. I've been so busy. I talked about buying a PS5. I got lucky enough. I got a PS5, guys. As a gamer, I'm lucky as fuck. I haven't even turned it on. That's how you know, like, I'm not bullshitting when I say, like, my life is in such a mess when it comes to, like, not having free time between... and I don't, like, I'm legitimately trying to get a video done and edited. I haven't even turned on the PS5 between working and life and, doing editing. I haven't even turned it on yet. It's sitting right here, and I can't wait to. Soon I will. What do you think of the Walking Dead animated series like Invincible? I'm not big on animated. I think it could work, and they should do something like a direct adaptation, but I'm not big on animated. I would prefer if it was stylized like 3D, but again, not animated, not the choppy, not like manga or anime. I'm sorry. If it's like anime, I won't even watch it. I just don't like that choppy style. This may be an unpopular opinion, but I don't think the Friday the 13th remake was that bad. Had pretty good. Jason, it's a more popular opinion than you're aware of. On Facebook, there's a lot of people talking about they love that. I know I am mixed on it. I think they had a good idea to start with Pamela Voorhees, but they did it real lazy-like, and then they drug out the intro with Baghead Jason, and they incorporated... the concept is there. When you think about the 2009 remake, it is really remaking parts 1 to 4 without Tommy Jarvis. I say that because Rob Dyer is the guy looking for his sister, and they took that little part that had nothing to do with Friday the 13th, barely anything to do. Guy shows up, I'm looking for my sister. He's killing me, and dies 10 minutes later. They took that and turned that into a remake and added the Jason stuff around it. They also casted people that were just young and popular instead of people that were right for the role, because the casting in the remake is god-awful. Outside of that, I love it. I love the human Jason. I love how he looks. I mean, if I made my own Friday, he wouldn't look like that. But still, I like how they look. I had this version that I was getting someone to draw. I'll tease you now, but it was going to go with a pitch of mine where part of my story took place in summer, Camp Crystal Lake, but part of it took place where the camp was closed down, and it was cold and snowing. Now, they did Never Hike Alone, and they did it in the snow, but let me look at Jason before I say this, because maybe I'm misremembering. But my version of Jason has a bear skin type of, and he looked like fucking brutal. I did a concept of it, and I was having an artist do something. Never hike alone in the snow and piss in the snow and eat it. How did Jason look? Images. Oh, yeah. Okay, perfect. I'm good. Because for a second there, I was like, oh, if he's wearing anything that's like that. All right, here's Jason from Never Hike Alone in the Snow. Again, this looks cool. But again, I wouldn't, if I was doing something, I wouldn't quite pick this. I don't know. I mean, I like the look. I know, I see what they're going for, but it's a toss-up. Would you stick with the neck like? Is this now? This looks cooler. Hold on. Here's another image. Never hike in the snow. Now this looks cooler than that other one. I could dig this. But yeah, he had like this fur on, like a bear skin. If I could get a proper artist to draw that, I thought that would be fire. But again, give like, and he's not dressed like that the whole time, but give like unique, different types of look and twist to it. That looks fucking awesome, though. I think NECA should make those as figures. All right, let's shut this down. I really got to go. Get rid of all this. Get rid of that, get that. Yeah, part 7. That's my favorite look of Jason. I really hope that figure shows up tomorrow because I'd like to review that. Let's look for that. Maybe foreign's been here. All right. Yeah, we can chat later. We could chat more. To look out for, if you guys don't mind, I'm going to put a link down below if I even have it. I'm going to put a link here if you don't mind. I'll put a link in the chat. Check out Flaw vs. Awe review, Friday the 13th, part 3 in 3D. I loved putting that edit together. Check it out because tomorrow I'm probably going to upload it, so maybe I'll go live on Tuesday. Keep in mind, by the time I edit, render and upload, or finish the edit, render and upload, and check YouTube to make sure they allow me to put that up without claiming anything. Then we'll do a premiere for Tuesday for Flaw vs. Awe reviews of Friday the 13th part 4, and I'm immediately diving into part 5. Let me see my schedule. If I can make it work, I would love to do 5, 6, 7. What else do we have? 8. Jason Goes to Hell, early October. The Jason in Space in the middle of October. Jason, Freddy versus Jason. Now here's where it gets mixed up. If I could do Trick or Treat on Halloween for a bonus, and the reboot just before Halloween, that'd be fucking awesome. But then I get into November would be Halloween 78, Halloween 2018 for November 12th, Predator 1 and 2. And the reason why I did that is because then when we get into December, hopefully they release Halloween Kills. Then once we do that, we can jump back to Halloween, or maybe you guys want to start Nightmare. I don't know. We'll see how Halloween goes. But again, that schedule is if I do nothing but be a dad and edit videos. I mean, I can't do anything. I can't work anything anywhere else at all. And I'm talking at all. I can't even work on my comic. The only way I can get that schedule done is if I just do it. So maybe that's what the video community needs for us to, like I said, we need at least between 25 to 50,000 people watching in order for us to start doing this full-time, week to week. But we'll see. Check out that and stay tuned for Flaw vs. Awe reviews of Friday the 13th part 4. I'll see you guys next Sunday for another chit-chat about The Walking Dead. And don't tune in if you want to hear only positives, because I hated episode 4. I fucking hated it. It was a big old meh, but I'll just say I hated it because fuck, that was terrible. All right, thank you very much for the donations. I appreciate the support. Be safe out there. I'll see you guys next Sunday. Oh yeah, Soft Batch said, wait, what? They did Jason in Space? Holy shit. Yes, they did Jason in Space. It's called Jason X. Check that out. One of the best kills in the whole series is in that movie. I've never seen Jason X. I've only seen the kills. I skipped it as a kid because it's Jason in Space. But now I'm excited because it's the only older, Jason Friday the 13th that I've never seen. Same thing with Halloween. I totally skipped Halloween 3 my entire life. Never watched it because Myers isn't in it. Now I'm excited. I can watch that for the first time, you know? It's for me, it's exciting. I'm waiting for the Flaw and All review. And yes, Soft Batch said, wearing a bear skin, Jesus, true ass mountain man. Yeah, there's a storyline that connects to it. But I thought, again, that visual for a few moments that would be fire. All right, guys, stay safe. I'll see you. I got to roll out.